My name is Noah Jacobi. I'm the head reporter with KAIMUN, and today I'm here with...
Um, my name is Evan. I'm the co-founder and secretary general of KAIMUN, and this is my teammate Geoffrey.
My name is Geoffrey. I'm also the co-founder and the deputy secretary general for KAIMUN.
So, this conference is coming up in August 16th and 17th this year, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
Where'd you guys come up with the idea to start this conference?
Sorry, but the audio cut out for that part actually. So I started KAIMUN due to my identity as a Taiwanese American student passionate in international relations. I grew up both in Kaohsiung and Silicon Valley, which I think are two places with inspiring thought leaders and are both surrounded by startup culture. So as a Taiwanese American, I especially care about issues that are vital to the interests of both countries. And as I saw a lack of formal Taiwanese recognition in international institutions, it led me to pursue Model UN, eventually creating KAIMUN to promote more public discourse about this idea. And Gio will talk more about the AI theme here.
So, seeing as Taiwan is in the midst of political tensions between China and many countries such as the U.S., Taiwan's stake and value is extremely high, just based off them being a stakeholder in the semiconductor industry. So hosting this event in Kaohsiung, of all places, is the most symbolic way to do something, specifically targeting AI. And adding it along with our MUN experience, it definitely brings something valuable to the table for people of Taiwan and in California.
Mm-hmm. Let's say I'm somebody completely new to Model UN and don't know much about artificial intelligence in today's world. Could you tell us about what KAIMUN is?
Yeah, so KAIMUN is a student-led international Model UN conference centered around the theme of the rise of AI and global governance. Model UN is kind of a debate format in which students, they're called delegates, and they represent nations. They debate, discuss, draft resolutions for specific topics. In KAIMUN's scenario, it would be on the topic of artificial intelligence and kind of ways we can regulate artificial intelligence in today's status quo. And yeah, it will be held, like you said, August 16th to 17th this year, 2025, in Kaohsiung, Taiwan, at Kaohsiung American School.
Seems like you guys have had not that many challenges and troubles starting this, but at the same time, we're still 2 months out, and there's a lot of things to get organized and a lot of pieces that need to come together in order for this to work out. What do you think are the main challenges and the main obstacles that are in your way of starting this conference?
Yeah, so since KAIMUN is a student initiative, and we don't have a traditional school running it, so since KAIMUN is independent of Kaohsiung American School, one of the biggest challenges we faced is gaining credibility from these schools. A lot of these schools are more hesitant to try something new, but since we have this trust from these wonderful sponsors, many of these schools have opted to take a chance with us, and that is something we're very grateful for.
So you mentioned having sponsors and multiple companies and firms backing you. Could you mention what those are?
Yeah, so we're grateful to be sponsored by, or our parent sponsor, NVIDIA. Mm-hmm. They're right now the world's leading GPU, CPU manufacturer and a leading voice in AI, as well as we have Broadcom. They focus more on optics. We have TSMC. They focus more on semiconductors. We have Open Compute Project, and we also have Oracle and GSA. We believe all of these companies really just tie in with the kind of theme of the conference, especially given how important and crucial semiconductors are in the development of hardware in AI. Mm-hmm. And we believe that the fact that these are our sponsors and the fact that we were able to get them really shows how timely this topic is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I recently saw you took a visit to NVIDIA headquarters. I was just wondering, how will NVIDIA come in as a vital partnership for this event to take place, and how do you think that you and NVIDIA will work together in the future in terms of KAIMUN?
Yeah. So yeah, we did take a visit to NVIDIA yesterday actually, with me, Evan, and Phineas. They let us tour their labs, and they showed us how semiconductors actually work, and how like their racks of processing units work as well. But I think personally, NVIDIA brings a lot to the table. So since that KAIMUN is like an initiative project, we have a lot of credibility issues and stuff like that. But NVIDIA, with the sponsor as a name as a whole, with the resources they provide for us, the guest speaker they provide, the funds as well, it definitely increases our awareness in the community for Model UN, as well as those who are particularly interested in artificial intelligence. In the future, I think for example, like KAIMUN 2 next year, we could definitely continue exploring it with NVIDIA. Perhaps taking it outside of Taiwan. We plan to take it to California right here next year. So we'll see how that goes.
During your visit to NVIDIA, were there any notable experiences you had, or any takeaways you had from the visit that brought you to see things in a new light, maybe surrounding AI or the future?
Yeah, so I mean, one of the people who kind of kindly showed us around was Deepak. I mean, we'll play a clip here.
Hey guys, it's Phineas Bjorlin, and this is
Deepak Lala.
And what's your position at NVIDIA, and what's your favorite thing about working here?
I'm a Senior Director of Engineering for NVIDIA. One of my favorite things is just the breadth of things that you get to do here, and it's in the forefront of innovation. And so as an engineer, it just feels like the best place to be.
Wonderful. And what do you think will be AI's impact on global governance and politics?
That is a very interesting question. One way to ask that question is, will the richer nations be able to progress more on AI than the poorer places? And because they have more money to invest into it.
I see.
So I think in general, the richer nations will become more efficient. But where it meets the road is on poorer nations have bigger populations. So for example, if you go to a country like India, it's not as rich as the United States, but more number of users there. So for AI to be effective, the more number of people it reaches, the more cheaper it becomes. It's like anything else, like, I mean, economies of scale. And so the richer nations cannot avoid taking the poorer nations along because of the population asymmetry and market asymmetry between the two places. So that's one way to think about it.
I think that these larger countries really will, in the long term, benefit and help bring these poorer nations up, because I mean, AI needs data, right? It needs as many people it can learn from, as many situations as it can learn from as possible. So AI is really a commutative technology. It's not really an individualistic technology, right? And kind of one big takeaway I had at NVIDIA was how much data an AI model needs to be trained on.
Must be collected, yeah.
And yeah, I see more it globalizing the world than isolating the world.
Yeah.
We actually asked Deepak a question about what he thinks about AI taking over jobs, because that's actually a pretty important topic here in the United States.
Yeah.
Well, Deepak actually gave us a pretty good personal story. So he said one of his relatives, one of his old relatives, they're like around 80 something. So they have a housekeeper, right? Like a Venezuelan housekeeper, right? And she speaks Spanish, and he speaks English, right? So normally without this artificial intelligence stuff or any technology for that matter, they wouldn't be able to communicate, right?
Yeah.
So in this case, they can use the Google Translate or any sort of translation technology, and they can communicate without a problem.
Yeah.
And they communicate just fine now. And
Yeah.
especially for benefiting both the working class and also the older generations. I think that's definitely something that's beneficial and not really harmful.
Yeah, I think the conference you guys are holding is going to explore topics like job displacement and AI just in the future, and that's why I think it's really important that you guys hold this conference, especially somewhere where AI is so prevalent, whether that's in Silicon Valley or in Taiwan. And I think that the future of AI is very uncertain, even in today's world, and it's really good that we have a conference and people exploring its future, and especially the youth, because that is the future of the youth. Thank you very much, Evan.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Nice to meet you guys.